15 prior battles, 6 having been won by ABC, 5 by CBS, 4 by NBC. We are very close to the advent of the competition. The first event, of course, will be the kayak relay. But right now, my pleasure to introduce my co-hosts on this occasion, beginning with a marvelously beautiful young woman who lit up the lives of all of America in the decade of the 70s with her rendition of You Light Up My Life. Debby Boone. Debbie, so nice to have you back where you belong.
Well, I was excited to be here, Howard.
I wonder if you'd recollect for us your remembrances of the time when you were a competitor.
Well, I enjoyed both times that I was here competing, but I'm glad to be on the other end because the pressure's off. Now I can watch everybody else get a little nervous and tense as they get ready to compete.
As a matter of fact, the last time you were with us, as we went into the second day, you reminded me of Muhammad Ali when he sat on that stool when Frazier did not come out of the corner. He said it was the closest thing in life to death. And I thought you were on the verge of collapse.
Well, I made it through.
Okay, and you'll be watching the women closely because they're the ones who determine the outcome.
Yes, I
You
do.
realize the young man who is our other co-host?
I do. I'm glad to be here with him, too.
Let's get him in here quickly. One of the greatest competitors in the history of the Battle of the Network Stars, unparalleled in his domination of the obstacle course competition, Scott Baio. Happy days.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here in my suit instead of shorts and sneakers and all that.
You were always a nervous competitor.
Yeah, I get real nervous. I don't sleep for about a week before I come to this event, but I'm okay now.
It's different.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about shorts and a tank suit top.
Or Harmon.
Or Mark Harmon or Billy Moses, both of whom are competing.
Exactly, yeah. And they're going to go head-to-head a lot today, so it'll be interesting to watch.
Be very interesting. Be very interesting to see the matchups, too, which may be the key in the kayak relay about to come up. Now you see the purse, total of $324,000 broken down as you see. The events, kayak relay, swimming relay, 3-on-3 football, baseball dunk, obstacle course, tandem bicycle, running relay, the climax, the tug of war. So let's get started. Mark Harmon, the leadoff man for the NBC team. And the others on the team, Ellen Bree, Charlie Haid, and Vicki Lawrence. Abby Dalton will start off for CBS. The rest of her, Moses, Charlene Tilton, and Doug Sheehan. Tommy Howell will lead off for the ABC team. The rest of the ABC team, Sherry Belafonte Harper, Heather Locklear, and John James. Quickly, the rules, 4 members each team. Each team member paddles up and back. Failure to round a buoy will result in disqualification. Now we are ready for the start of the kayak relay. In order, the ABC team, the CBS team, middle lane, and the NBC team, far lane, and Abby Dalton quickly in trouble, Scott.
And the 6 shows I've done, that's the one reason I never did the kayak race, because of that.
Well, I did do this race, and it's deceiving. It's much harder than it looks like it is, especially making the turn around the buoy.
In the meantime, note that Tommy Howell and Mark Harmon are neck and neck, each going around the buoy. They are having a close go of it and doing very, very well against an athlete of Harmon's stature is Tommy Howell. They are now coming close to the end of the first leg, and coming in is Mark Harmon. Very important in this event, the exchange, the facility of the exchange, and the push-off. Note that NBC is now in the lead. She has a slight lead, does Ellen Bree, over Sherry Belafonte Harper, and still paying the piper for a bad first leg is CBS just coming in. There's Abby Dalton. She had a very tough go of it. All right, we continue with the action. Remember, the handoff and the push-off, very, very important. And Ellen Bree has a slight lead over ABC Sherry Belafonte Harper. And yet, look at Sherry Belafonte. She negotiated the buoy more creditably than did Ellen Bree. But Ellen Bree is hanging in there, and she is coming down and retaining the lead. A little wavering of the boat. Billy Moses expected to do better than he's doing. Moses, a great athlete, but not making much progress in cutting down the lead. And an excellent handoff and push-off by NBC. Charlie Haid increasing the NBC lead already. And the push-off, Sherry Belafonte Harper of Heather Locklear. Heather Locklear with some considerable distance to make up. Your view of Heather's stroke, if you will.
Well, she seems to be digging in her oars a little bit too much, and she's very high in the boat, but she's doing okay. And Charlene sits very low in the boat, so we'll see what Heather can do. She seems to be gaining some ground.
All right, they come to a key point, the negotiation around the buoy. Charlie Hayes struggling a touch. Heather moving very nicely. Now she might make up some ground, but no, she's having trouble here too. And so, NBC is well ahead. Charlene Tilton struggling all by herself. She looks like she's shrinking in the boat. So low down is she? Going around the buoy. There's Charlie Hayes coming in. The third leg for NBC and with a big lead. Mark Harmon exhorting Charlie Hayes on. There's the exchange. Again, a good one. Nice handoff by Mark Harmon to Vicki Lawrence. But here, look at that exchange, Debbie. Right here.
Range is the oar handler right there, and he got John James off to a great start.
And with this matchup, John James may have helped his team to a victory unexpectedly. It is boy against girl, and in this situation, James, a skilled oarsman, as you watch Vicki seek to go around the buoy. Watch how tightly James goes around that buoy and assumes the lead. Right there, the turning point of the kayak relay. And look at James. Now, there's a guy who's stroking well, Scotty.
Oh, he's beautiful. He's real smooth. He's putting those oars right in the water. No problems at all.
Now he's showboating his way in. What a showboat, John James. But he leads ABC to the victory. The winning time, 3:48.62. And Vicki Lawrence comes in second. Great matchup victory for John James. And Doug Sheehan comes in a languid third. So that's it. ABC the winner, and second NBC, third CBS in the kayak relay.
Thank you.
That's one.
Well, I got one of the guys.
You wanted to get off to this good start.
Well, I figured that I wanted to just maintain with the other teams and then see if we were close, and which is what happened.
You know how you really won this race? Clever matchup. For them,
Hey, I think it worked out great.
well, folks, we're almost ready for the swimming relay. Should be exciting and especially interesting because of the matchups. Describe the anchor swimmers.
Okay, for CBS, they have Billy Moses, who has come back twice from being far behind to pull out a victory for CBS. On NBC is Mark Harmon, who we know is a great swimmer, and 3 times he is coming back from being behind. But ABC has an interesting choice swimming the anchor. They have Sean Weatherly going against Mark and Billy, and it's going to be tough for her.
Well, the only way she could swim with them is by bemusing them with her beauty.
Maybe you're right. Maybe that'll work for her.
Must be the only strategy. Anyway, Debbie Boone is over with the anchor swimmers, and she's ready to talk with them. Deb, take over.
I'm here with the 3 anchor swimmers, Mark Harmon, Sean Weatherly, and Billy Moses. And Sean, I do not envy your position. How do you feel about swimming against these 2 guys?
Like I've been put in the wrong position.
Now, the swimming relay, the rules. 5 members, including at least 2 women. First 4 swim 1 with. Final swimmer for each team swims up and back. The introductions of the teams. John James of Dynasty leading off for ABC. Heather Locklear. She'll swim second, and she's a good swimmer. Swimming third, Pamela Bellwood. We don't know about her. Swimming fourth, Ted Lange. If he can swim, if he has shoulder construction, he'll be good. And the anchor swimmer, already discussed, bad matchup, Sean Weatherly.
Howard, usually 3 men and 2 women are picked for the swimming teams, but with Heather, Pamela, and Sean all swimming, it appears Captain John James seems to be depending on his women too much.
And the NBC intros, Michael Fox just introduced, lead man for the NBC team. Now, Ellen Bree, St. Elsewhere. Swimming third, the irrepressible Charles Hay. I tell you, this guy gives it everything he's got. Swimming fourth, Vicki Lawrence, who did beat one of the men in the kayak relay. She's a lot of fun. And the anchor swimmer, the athletic one from UCLA, Mark Harmon.
And Howard, if NBC can stay close in this race, I think Harmon, who is a tremendous athlete, can pull this off.
Thank you, Scotty. And now the CBS introductions, the leadoff swimmer, Captain Bill Devane. Swimming second, I never thought she'd get her head above the kayak, little Charlene Tilton. Swimming third, and this is an interesting guy, has the look and cut of an athlete, Richard Dean Anderson. Swimming fourth, a remarkable lady in every respect, Abby Dalton. And the anchor swimmer, and what an athlete he is, Billy Moses. This should be a good one. That's Bill Devane, CBS captain, ready to go. Michael Fox, middle lane, and off with the lead in the far lane. The lane to your right is John James, and quickly John is going to give ABC a lead. And he does just that. And Heather Locklear gets a good start. But in that middle lane, did you see that? Ellen Bray of St. Elsewhere just fell into the pool. The problem now for Ellen, the way she's going, is not to drown. You won't see her in the picture. Heather Locklear holding the lead for ABC. And Pamela Bellwood now in the water for ABC, seeking to hold on to that lead. Charlene Tilton coming in second for CBS. But watch this. Richard Dean Anderson passing Pamela Bellwood. She's stuck at anchor like a tugboat in the harbor. Her problem now will be survival. And she will not even finish second on the leg. What a job by Richard Dean Anderson. So we are into leg four. And right there, Abby Dalton doing a beautiful job holding together for CBS. And CBS in apparent control. But a good job being done by Ted Lange, who moved into second for ABC. And now we come to the last lap. And all you have to do is watch Billy Moses. Mark Harmon trying to catch up in the middle lane. But he's got a lot of chasing to do. That's Billy Moses. That's Billy Moses about to clinch the swimming relay for CBS. And Mark Harmon coming on will finish second for NBC. And bringing up the rear for Sean Weatherly. ABC finishing third. So the time has come once again to greet the winner. Listen, I'm beginning to grow too accustomed to your pace. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. We needed this one after our inauspicious debut.
Billy, your team had the lead going into your final laps, yet you even extended that lead.
Really? Well, no, actually, everybody came through. Rick did a heck of a job for us. And if I had a lead, I didn't think I was going to lose it.
No, I don't think so either. Harmon's not in your class. You'll say it bluntly now, right?
Don't say that. I'll be in trouble.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Oh, Mark, you ran another great leg, but you just had too much to make up.
What it is, Scott, is I miss you out here.
Oh, is that right? You go better against me.
Oh, I guess. Second place for us is good, and we're looking just to keep in the money here as much as we can and hopefully take it into a pretty strong day with the later events.
When you're with NBC, number 2 isn't good enough.
We're about ready for the touch football competition, folks, and don't think for a minute that this is a laugher. We've got some players to evaluate them for you. The outstanding player in the most recent Super Bowl game, the great star from USC, Heisman Trophy winner, number 32, Los Angeles Raiders, Marcus Allen, our commissioner today. Tell us about some of these guys.
Well, we have 3 exciting athletes out here. We have John James, Billy Moses, and Mark Harmon, who's a quarterback at UCLA, and he was very, very good.
Harmon, quarterback, UCLA, the very man who taught you how to catch the passes coming out of the backfield, right?
Yes, he has to play receiver because he was a one-time quarterback, but he was very good, but he didn't teach me how to hold onto the ball.
No, who did that?
You did.
Of course, that's why you fumbled all yellow. In the meantime, some of these girls are good.
The girls are going to play a key success in one of the network win. They're going to add to a lot of points. It's going to be exciting.
What's your strategy?
Well, you know, it's a great disadvantage for us going against an almost professional athlete in Harmon, you know, so.
Yeah, but you got Billy Moses.
But he's just an actor, you know. No, basically what we're going to do is we're going to try to knock down Mark Harmon and break his leg, you know, and then we'll get on with it.
That worked for us?
Yeah, that's the only way to do it, you know.
Well, good luck to you.
All right, thanks.
See you later. All right, Debbie, back to you.
All right, you two, how do you feel about this now? We're getting to the end here.
Well, it's looking very, very good for our team. I feel that we would have had the thing clinched earlier if I had been involved in the gameplay, but I withdrew to show my respect for our opponents because I felt it would have been unfair for me to be participating on the field if I were going to be opposite Sherry Belafonte, because I know that I would have had a tendency to sacrifice or possibly throw the game, so I withdrew from the game to give my team a fair chance.
I think that's only fair. And how do you feel?
As you can see, folks, money means nothing to this man.
Well, Sherry was impressed.
Cheerleaders, CBS style, on the side as they get ready for the coin toss down on the field.
Captain Devane will call a toss, and whoever wins the toss has a choice of offense or defense.
I would prefer not to call it.
You would rather give that to Mr. Wilson. Captain Wilson, do you agree that you'd like to call the toss?
No, I refer it back to him.
Well, we're going to have his turn because you had a turn before, so we're going to ask Captain Devane to call it. Call it in the air, please.
Heads.
He calls heads. It is tails. Captain Wilson, you have won the toss.
I should like to consult with my team and decide, and so we can all agree on what is the strategy.
Most of the time, the coach has the power to make that decision.
Well, I realize I have the power, but I want to respect the other members of my team. It's only going to take a moment, sir.
We'll wait a moment for you.
Thank you, sir.
Quickly.
So the flipper seems to want a team caucus. He meets with them. Debbie's with him. Let's see what happens.
Ask Charlie. Ask Charlie and Mark.
Okay, if you want to receive, where's Mark?
Mark.
Get the committee together.
Everything is my
to find out if we want to receive.
He's asking the cheerleaders.
I'm going to run back out.
We're receive. Defense. Defense.
Apparently a decision has been made. NBC will play defense. CBS will be on offense.
Good luck, sir.
I don't know how I look. Standing next to Sean Weatherly.
Little last-minute sideline discussion. CBS strategy meeting.
Just run right at her.
Run right at her. Okay.
In other words, instead of running straight, just run right at her. When you get over the line, go to the right and look at her. Okay? When he blows the whistle, you go out. You go the other way out.
Okay.
If Sarah Douglas listens to Devane, she can get killed. But all's finally ready. Billy Devane at the helm.
Run when the whistle
So
sounds.
let's go with the action.
Is the defense ready? Charlie, you ready?
Devane is quarterback. Bobby Dalton and Douglas are receiving. Defending NBC, Hayde, Brian, Lawrence. The pass. Off Douglas's hands. Good try, though. She's a gamer. She'll surprise you.
You got to catch those. They're hitting you right in the hands. Really
Debbie, were you in the football competition when you
I
bought
was, and I actually caught something. I think it was a football.
You're going to go to your left, and you're going to go over to the right. Look around for me as soon as you get over there, okay? On the whistle.
Okay.
All right. Devane sets the passing routes.
I believe that.
Yeah, okay.
Again, wait for the whistle.
Getting ready for the second play. You saw the first play just fail. Pass off Sarah Douglas's hands. Devane throwing carefully, and that time successfully. Bobby Dalton, who's becoming the star of the 3-on-3 football competition.
Okay. All right.
All the way back at the end. Okay?
Final play for the CBS ladies. You heard Devane set the same strategy.
Yes, you're fine.
It's set on the earlier completion.
On the whistle now, girls. On the whistle. Defense ready?
Jim Tunney in command of things. Official. He pass out. Oh, did you see those sure hands of Abbott? I'll tell you, Debbie, you got to give that lady credit. What a sure-handed catch. Outstretched tips
Now,
of the hands and fingers.
Watch this. Something you don't see too often. Somebody hugging a referee.
She's exhilarating.
Okay. Okay. Coming across.
While we were away, by the way, we missed a play. Pass intended for Moses as the men receivers came on the field. Incomplete. Vane back to work. Look at this one. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Richard Dean Anderson. And Anderson came through. Again, quick pass to Anderson. And now it's a compelling 20-0 lead for CBS. Here's Debby with Richard Dean Anderson.
It's between you and me. We got it in the bag.
Do you think so?
Is my nose growing? Could be trouble.
So that's the story as we get ready for the second half of the final game. And indeed, NBC on offense, CBS on defense. The first play already executed, an incomplete pass. Play 2 getting underway. Defending for CBS, Sheehan, Dalton, and Douglas. Long pass by Charlie Hay. And Sarah Douglas comes through. Told you she's a gamer, and so she is, Scotty.
Oh, Howard, that was a pretty good play for an Englishwoman since she's never played American football.
Oh, you're such a wise.
Yes! You said that ball was pointy and you couldn't catch it. You said the ball was pointy and you couldn't catch it. What was that?
It was a fluke.
That was no fluke. Come on.
I never saw a pointy. I've never caught a pointy ball in my life. I'm used to nice round balls.
The obstacle course event. And those of you with good memories know that Scott Baio, one of my co-hosts, absolutely owned it. 5 times he won. Every time it seemed he would set a new time record for it. And the trick for him, the high wall right behind us. Scott, what was the trick?
Well, the trick I used was I never really climbed over the wall. I would just put one foot on the wall and sort of hurdle over it. And it worked for me, and it turned out okay. It was pretty quick.
Hurdle, you jump like an antelope.
Well, I was lucky enough to find a way that worked for me.
It was lucky enough that you grew up climbing the fences.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly how I did this. It is.
All right, that's one thing. A challenge for men on this course. Women, note, go over the low wall, but sometimes women are presented with other difficulties. For an insight into that, who else but Debby Boone? Deb?
Howard, I was a little bit surprised when I was practicing for the obstacle course that this crawl through is a very important and key part. If you don't make it through there very quickly, you blow the whole race. And as a girl, I was a little bit hesitant to throw myself through and recover quickly and get to those tires. So that was something I really needed to take careful preparation for.
Okay, Deb, thanks a lot. So the course is beset with challenges of the nature just described. We're ready now for the start of the competition itself. Let's go. And in this heat, we'll have Sarah Douglas as we zoom in on her. From Falcon Crest, representing CBS. Her opponent, whom we have just profiled, Kim Fields from the Facts of Life. That little girl gives it everything she's got. You heard her say, don't ever give up. Sarah Douglas, long-legged. She may have a problem, the very problem that Debby Boone just talked about. Ready for the starting gun. And they're off. Oh, Kimmy threw herself at the trampoline, which Debby said she had been afraid to do. She's navigating the tires well, building a lead. Now, she's a short one, trouble for the monkey bars, and Sarah Douglas catches up. Now to the low wall for women. And Sarah Douglas in the lead. Kimmy Fields falling behind. The water trap executed, but not by Kimmy Fields. She just wasn't tall enough to handle that rope, Debby.
No, she didn't grab it high enough to get over the water.
So Sarah Douglas, the clean winner in their heat. Her time, 26:20. And an interesting event. Now we're getting ready for the next heat. Lisa Whelchel against Sean Wethel. These two girls are both good athletes. We saw Lisa star in the football competition 3-on-3. Ready for the starting gun here. And the gun in there off. Look at Sean go under that trampoline. And Lisa, too, for that matter. Both okay with the tires. No sign of a penalty. Now the monkey bars, they each do that. Lisa, a slight lead. Over the low wall. A problem there, as you saw for Sean Wedley. Now to the water trap. Lisa over, and Sean got over too, but had a little trouble at the very end. Lisa Whelchel with the victory. A well-run race. And quickly she is congratulated by all of her NBC teammates. So let's run over and talk with her. I wish you'd stop kissing everybody on your team, Mark Harmon. All right, Charlie, let me in.
She's our ace in the hole. Oh, yeah,
She really came through. You're a little battler, I'll tell you.
Oh, man. I was just glad it was combined times in the first part. I saw those legs. Their legs as tall as mine. Our whole body is. She's great.
Yeah, so are you, as a matter of fact. What was the toughest part for you?
I was having a hard time on the wall, but then concentrating on getting my whole thumb around the bars.
Well, look, baby, you've got the best time so far for any woman contestant. 25-25. And you beat Sean, who was at 26-12. Not a bad run for Sean, but you came through. Good luck.
You're obviously a veteran at this. You have the record of 1750. You can do anything different this time?
I would just settle to try to go through this thing like you always go through this thing, Scott.
Well, you guys have a little bit of a lead, and this is a pretty big race.
Well, yeah, against the clock more than anything, and try to go through and not make any mistakes, and just try to keep my head about me. We'll see what happens.
Well, you'll do great as always.
Richard, you are going to be doing this race against Mark Harmon, who holds the record. Do you think you'll be able to hold up?
Well, I'll tell you, this is the first time I've ever run this course, but I think I need the competition.
The pressure will do you good, huh?
Yeah. I have to go to the bathroom real bad.
Well, that ought to make you speed up. Good luck.
Fewer words were near spoken.
Good line, Debbie. Now we're ready. Mark Harmon right there. You just saw Richard Dean Anderson. We await the starting gun. Anderson's got a tough cookie to go against, I'll tell you that. And they're off quickly under the trampoline. Harmon slightly ahead. The tires, a little trouble, but no penalty for Mark Harmon. And now the monkey bars, beautifully executed, and Mark takes the lead over the high wall. And this is where Mark is building up the advantage. No problem with the water trap. A great race, but easily won by Mark Harmon. Mark Harmon with spectacular time, 18.63. Let's go over and talk with the winner. And your time. Richard Anderson's time, amazing. 1972. No penalties for him, so he had a great run for it. And you're at 1863, my friend. You people are in the finals without question.
Thanks, Howard.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Like father, like son.
I don't know about that. Okay. Thanks.
We're ready for the second heat. Let's go to Scotty Baio.
Well, Billy, looks like NBC is going to be in the finals, and you're going head-to-head with Tommy Howell, who's not bad. What do you think?
I don't know. I've never seen him run, so we'll find out. I knew all along we were going to have to find a second in here someplace, so we'll see what we can do.
Tommy, the pressure is really on you for not only this event, but to get ABC into the finals at all. And you're running against Billy Moses. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. He's a real good runner. So I'm just going to try to keep up with him and get a real good time and not have any penalties. But the course is pretty tough, so we'll see.
Okay, I wish you good luck.
Thank you.
See Thomas Howell against Billy Moses. They're off under the trampoline. Quickly, Moses in the lead. The tires. Howell giving it all he's got. He's right there with the opponent. And he's slightly in the lead after the monkey bars. But the high wall too much. And you saw Tom Howell fall. And off by himself. Billy Moses, a great run. And a good effort by Thomas Howell. No quitting that kid. Let's get over and talk to the winner. As I said earlier, we've grown accustomed to his pace. You went under that trampoline so fast I couldn't believe it. Mark Harmon was oohing and eyeing with me. That's right. Mark, Lisa, come over here. Well, I think I haven't gotten the times yet, but clearly you've clinched. Where do you think you got the penalty?
I got halfway around on the
Mr.
last
Monkey
part.
Bar? Yeah. May I see the times, dear? These are unofficial. Oh, Two penalties. One against Tom Howell. His total time, 22.95. Your total time, 20.80, because you were at 17.80 with a 3-second penalty. But anyway, congratulations.
Lisa and Sarah, you're getting ready to race against each other, and you've seen each other race. Lisa, you ran a great race, and so did you, Sarah. CBS needs this race to stay way in the lead, and NBC needs it even more to get just 25 points behind the lead, so that'll give you a good chance for the finals. How do you feel, Lisa?
Well, I think basically it's pretty evenly matched. I really do. I mean, I feel kind of bad about Sarah's knee, but not too bad considering they have Billy Moses over there with that 17 score. So I think it's really, I'm glad they're combining the times.
And how do you feel, Sarah?
I feel fine, and in fact, my knee is just pretend. I just wrapped it up to phase everybody. My knee's absolutely fine.
It was a ruse. Is that more pressure now?
Oh, no, it worked. It really did.
Well, we'll see the outcome. Good luck to both of you. Unfortunately, Sarah's knee may be more of a factor than she believes.
And Debbie, a quick reference by Lisa to Billy Moses' time. It was correct, but not inclusive of a 3-second penalty he incurred on the monkey bars. Now, ready for the starting gun. The two girls, they're off. Quickly under the trampoline, Lisa with a mile lead. Then the tires. And a problem right there for Sarah Douglas as she fell on the tires, building up a huge lead. Lisa Whelchel. Sarah Douglas gaming it out. Remember, that's the word for her, gamer. And Lisa is going to win all by herself. No problem with the water trap. Look at poor Sarah. Problems all the way. Problem over the low wall and a problem with the water trap. And so Lisa Whelchel the winner. Time to talk to the ancient NBC captain, the flipper.
Realize if you win this event, you're within 25 points of CBS.
Yes, and I'm hoping to win this one because it means a lot to my family. Because I was discussing with the kids last night, and we said that if we came in second, we were going to get a new sofa. I mean, a new armchair. If we came in first, we were going to get the sofa and the chair. And if we come in third, then we'll just have to get the old stuff reupholstered.
Billy Moses must beat Mark Harmon by 5:37 seconds to win the event.
Right now, we're in the men's finals of the obstacle course, and we have really a great matchup. We have Billy Moses against Mark Harmon. Now, Mark, your team is up by 5 seconds. I mean, Lisa beat Sarah by 5 seconds. You going to take it easy here or what?
Scott, I think you just have to go one-on-one and go against the man, and in this case it's Billy, and he runs this thing as well as anyone.
Just going to go all out, huh?
You.
Oh. Thanks. You make me feel better. How about you, Billy? You got to go all out for it, don't you?
Well, I tell you, Mark will run it at 1 speed, and that's full speed, so I'll do likewise. We'll see what happens here.
All right, well, may the best man win. Good luck to you.
All right, this a showdown in the obstacle course event. The two best athletes in the competition. Mark Harmon there for NBC. Billy Moses there for CBS.
Runners ready!
And they're off. Look at them both go under that trampoline. Now the tires. Oh, a little stumble by Moses, but he recaptures himself. Problem for both, it seemed to me, at the monkey bars. Harmon off by himself. Trouble at the high wall for Moses. A tremendous effort by Mark Harmon. Billy Moses lost his concentration after the stumble over the high wall. And so, NBC wins. Let's meet those people. Captain Wilson.
Yeah.
NBC wins the obstacle course event. Let me quickly tell you, Mark, as I congratulate you and Billy Moses, who made a good struggle for it after coming a cropper early on, that both of you were penalized 3 seconds on the monkey bars. So your total time becomes 20.98 and Billy's 25.32. You only added to your lead Captain Wilson, and extraordinary evidence of leadership.
Absolutely. And Howard, you know that this means the sofa, the big chair.
lot of factors involved in this event. Scott Baio, you were in it. What are some of the tough points?
Well, the tough thing is there's no bank in the turn. It's just all flat, and you pick up a lot of speed. It's very easy to slide out and crash over there. And also, the track is very loose dirt.
You don't make it sound very appetizing.
It's not the safest event that is here.
You were lucky, Debbie. You, in your 2 times around, didn't participate in that event. But what about the gusting winds, dear?
That's what I would be worried about if I were having to ride this race today, because it is extremely windy and it's kind of cold, too, so their muscles aren't warmed up.
You said cold?
It's very cold, Howard. Thank you.
Oh, I love this deal. All right, gusting winds a factor. No banks on the turns. Little bit of fear. Tough competition. ABC, remember, must win to stay alive. Now, we're ready for the team introductions. There's the ABC team, and we move on to the CBS team. See the names there. And finally, the NBC team. And as Scott Baio indicated, this is not the most appetizing event in the world. There is danger involved. We're ready for the starting gun, each tandem being pushed off by a teammate. And off they go. On the inside, the early lead immediately goes to ABC, Ted Lange and Heather Locklear. That's the turn Scotty Baio was talking about. You gotta be careful on those turns. Can't drift outside. Lange and Locklear building the lead, working in perfect unison. That's the whole key. The whole key is for Heather to keep her head down, help that draft, and move on in perfect timing with her co-rider. In the meantime, they're in command, at least for the moment. Heather making a mistake, looking back. CBS closing down on them, narrowing that lead. NBC bringing up the rear. And the first lap is completed. Each tandem team rides 1 lap around the track. Now, ABC retaining its lead. CBS still second. But CBS coming up closer and closer. The ABC team is James Darren and Sherry Belafonte Harper. Celia Weston and Doug Sheehan are the CBS team. And they are now gaining steadily on the ABC team. In the distant rear, the NBC team. Still, they're pedaling well. The ABC team, Darren and Belafonte working in unison, but look, they sprung to the outside. They're in a little bit of trouble there. The bike wavering, and CBS is coming right up with them as the second leg is completed. So we go to the final lap of the tandem bike race, and as you can see, CBS now in the lead. And CBS has Richard, Dean Anderson, and Charlene Tilton. ABC has John James and Sean Weatherly. And up comes John James. Why? Look, Charlene Tilton isn't even pedaling. And so John James and Sean Weatherly take the lead, and maybe even taking command for the race. Charlene Tilton sitting there having a nice ride at Richard Dean Anderson's expense. And yet Anderson keeps them in the race. But on the outside, pouring across for the victory, ABC with John James and Sean Weatherly. And Charlene Tilton hasn't touched the pedal yet. Extraordinary, really. Now the win is hugged the captain, John James. And quickly, let's get to this winning team who has managed to stay alive in the competition. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Teddy, your team is now still alive. Pam, don't run away.
I have the tiger.
You're the tiger.
Yeah, we're going for it.
It's a good thing you weren't around. In the meantime, let's see if we can get them up here. Sherry, John. Hey, Tommy, you were the key. Your push-offs almost cost ABC the race.
My push-off did it.
Good. Your push-offs did it.
That's what it did.
Twice you gave away leads with those bad push-offs. Jimmy, I thought you were going to fold. You looked like you were going to...
How could a guy my age fold? When you're 23, you never fold.
point in the competition, ladies and gentlemen. Situation in capsule form simply this. Running relay about to take place. And for ABC to have any chance to get into the climactic event, the tug-of-war, ABC must win this, the running relay. But even if they do, to get into the tug-of-war, NBC would have to finish third. In other words, by NBC finishing second, NBC would go against CBS in the tug-of-war. Therefore, the critical man for NBC, the captain of their team. A great runner, remembered for his performances in past Olympiads. Right now, in his second event in this competition, he had participated earlier in the baseball dunk. To be qualified, he must participate in one other event. So Flip Wilson to revive his glories of yesteryear.
Yes,
Flip, the feeling is, as we look at you, observe the paunch in the midriff.
Yes.
The feeling is that you will lose for your team. And
No, Howard, please, don't say that. No, they used to call me the Blue Streak.
And then what'd they change it to?
It's just, well... Very good, Howard. That was fast. Howard, but I'm telling you, this is where I'm going to come through. A lot of great runners are in my family. If you recall a few years ago in the Detroit riot, the picture of the guy who was running with the sofa on his back?
Yes.
That was my cousin. That was my cousin. I could do this whole thing. I could do 220 with a television if I had it. So just running without anything, I don't know. The big thing holds me back, it'll be the fact that I don't have anything on my back.
I understand.
Nothing in front of me will hold me back.
Well, I wish you well.
When this race is over...
It may be your last hurrah.
Do you have to put it like that, Howard?
Good luck to you, Flipper.
Thanks, Howard.
All right, the teams. Lance, Belafonte, Harper, Howell, Weatherly, Locklear, and James for ABC. Devane, Dalton, Sheehan, Douglas, Weston, Moses for CBS. And Wilson, Whelchel, Fox, Bree, Fields, and Harmon for NBC. We get ready for the starting gun. And let's see how the renowned NBC captain does in this, the first lap. First two runners, 110. Third and sixth runners run 220s, and they're off. And the Flipper trails the field. Look at Teddy Lange. ABC in the middle lane, passing Devane. Teddy Lange running like a streak. Teddy Lange building up a lead for ABC. Quickly to Shari Belafonte Harper. And the Flipper finally hands off. He has his team deep in the last spot. Shari Belafonte Harper holding together, don't you think, Debbie?
She really is, and Abby Dalton's coming up on the second place there.
Women often the key to this event. Belafonte Harper hands off to Thomas Howell. Abby Dalton still running and handing off. And look at this. How about that, Scotty?
Oh, that's a key move. Michael J. Fox is passing Doug Sheehan for second place, and that's just what NBC needs.
So, as you look at Thomas Howell maintain his lead, ABC way out front, this is the key runner. Michael Fox in the key leg brings NBC from way back into second place. The handoffs. And now it comes down to this, the battle for second place. Sarah Douglas with the bad knee going nowhere. ABC way out front, the handoff to Heather Locklear, and Heather Locklear is a competitive runner. I mean a competitive runner at the highest level. That's Celia Weston in last place for CBS. Look at Heather come up for the handoff to John James. Look how far they are ahead of NBC. You can expect James, look at him even now looking back. That guy loves to showboat, as we noted in the kayak victory for ABC earlier in the program. And this, the last leg. And now, well behind in last place, Billy Moses with virtually no chance to catch Mark Harmon. So, James trumpets into the victory, but for ABC, it's too little, too late. Mark Harmon an easy second, CBS third. So, let's go to the winners who are yet the losers. All right, John. I know. Congratulations on a great race, a sterling comeback, but you know that NBC, by finishing second, gets to the tug-of-war. You have lost. Mark Harmon, cadence counter for the NBC tug team, and Bill Devane, captain and cadence counter for the CBS team. The winner of this event, of course, wins the 16th Battle of the Network Stars. Key question, Mark, why are you cadence counter, great athlete that you are, instead of being part of the team?
Because I'm smart, Howard. No, we've got some people who wanted to do this from the very beginning, and this is a scrappy bunch, and they have been from the beginning, and so we're going to give it our best shot, and that includes me out here calling cadence instead of being there pulling the rope, and that's fine.
It may be fine from your point of view. I don't think it's felicitous for your team. Captain Devane, now you've been through the bagpipe scene, you've made the weights. What's the strategy for your team?
Well, we're just going to pull, Howard. You know, we hit the weight right on the magic number, so I feel, you know, we're really just going to pull. I'm going to do a lot of yelling. They're going to do a lot of pulling.
No truth to the rumor that you threw the running relay in order to have NBC oppose you.
Are you kidding? Are you kidding?
I referred earlier to the bagpipe scene. Here's what I meant. CBS weighed in at 801 pounds, 1 pound over the allowable weight. NBC weighed 792, had no problem. Captain Devane sent his team off to see what they could do about losing some weight. When they re-weighed, nothing happened. And then Doug Sheehan, CBS's proposed anchorman, stepped on the scale. And sure enough, he was 1 pound lighter, and his team had made the allowable weight. The tug-of-war, the climactic event. Scotty Baio, your memories?
Well, we did one that lasted about 13 minutes, and I have never felt such pain in my entire life as that one event.
What about you, Deb?
Well, I agree with Scott. I felt a lot of pain. Ours was a lot shorter, but it's intense, every second of it.
The whistle, the action begins. A very slight beginning edge for CBS. The lead man, Richard Dean Anderson for CBS. The number 2 man is Billy Moses. The number 1 man for NBC, Michael J. Fox. The cadence counter for NBC, Mark Harmon. And now, the drama's in the faces. The gamer, Sarah Douglas, with that knee patched up, and the trooper, Abby Dalton. This whole human drama is focused now on the faces of the competitors because the marker is not moving. It hasn't moved since the very beginning with that tiny edge. Look at Lisa Whelchel, one of the stars of the competition. Doug Sheehan, the anchor man, digging into that sand. I wonder if the beard helps. Should have shaved that to get rid of the 1 pound. Scotty, what do you think here? Where were you positioned?
I was the lead man right where Richard Dean Anderson is, and ours went about 13 minutes, and it was unbelievable. I mean,
and you lost.
We lost to NBC, unfortunately.
All right, you just saw Vicki Lawrence, and Vicki Lawrence is the woman who can hang in there and adapt, the point we made earlier. Her feet dug into the sand. Flip Wilson giving it everything the elderly captain has. Debbie, where were you placed when you were in this?
I was in the middle, about like Lisa, and I just wondered if I was having any effect. I wanted to get a new grip, but I was afraid to let go.
And you lost.
We lost.
Of course. So we're surrounded by a pair of losers. And Doug Sheehan hopes to be a winner. See those feet? The way they're dug into that ledge to get leverage, not just for yourself, but for the entire team. And so Lisa Whelchel, Flip Wilson, Vicki Lawrence, and Charlie Haid now prostrate. Bill Devane, the captain, not playing President Kennedy now. He's playing the role of leader. Dreams he's Robert Mitchum in The Winds of War, where he's always called upon to lead to the final solution. Mark Harmon, counting cadence, encouraging Lisa. That's it, he's saying. And so, we concentrate on the faces. There has been no movement in the marker. The whole story here, the human drama of the faces. But now you can see the marker because CBS is gaining a marked edge, and they do not have that much more to go. This is a tremendous struggle. Look at Richard Dean Anderson. He's about ready to expire. Billy Moses up, seems the fresher of the two. Charlene Tilton falling, counting kegs. And this I've never seen before in the tug of war. A change of partners. Not the old Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers song, but Moses goes in to the front spot. And Anderson goes back to 2, and it's an immediate help. Moses fresher, brings new leverage, new pulling strength to his team, buttressed by the anchor man, Doug Sheehan, and now CBS can smell the victory. One thinks of Lombardi. You've got to give everything you've got on every tug, because any single tug can now close out the entire event and win the victory in the 16th Battle of the Network Stars. Closer, closer, ever closer it comes. And the cadence counters for NBC are desperate. CBS sensing the victory, and Billy Moses now in the #1 spot, becoming the leader of this team as he has been throughout the competition. There it is! Billy Moses has done it with the help of his team. He lies there prostrate. Let's get over now to talk to the winners. Never saw that before in the tug of war. You, the #2 man, exchanging positions with Rick, the #1 man. What prompted that? Can you talk?
Yeah, you start losing your leg strength when you're up here. And I figured I could get Rick up there and lock in there and get my legs going good. And I guess it worked.
Rick, you look actually relieved to be moving back to the 2nd spot.
I'm ready to go again. No, it was sort of a part of a peripheral plan we had, and it paid off, obviously.
It sure paid off, and the NBC team absolutely exhausted. Who can blame them? The windup of Battle 16 of the Network Stars. The winners, CBS, 2nd, NBC, and 3rd, but gallantly so, ABC. The scores now in the total series. ABC 6, CBS 6, NBC 4. The respective captains.
It was great. We switched partners in the middle, and it really helped.
It really did work. Flip.
Well, I want to compliment my opponent, and I want to say, as NBC, I'm sure, feels #2 is not good enough.
All right. Thank you both very, very much. May I bring in for a final goodbye my co-host, Debby Boone. I didn't like your behavior toward her during the entire competition. And Scott Baio. Look, thank you so much, Deb.
It was great to be here.
Your husband, Gabrielle, is here. May I kiss you?
Well, if you're a gentleman.
And Scotty, thank you so much.
Always a pleasure to see you, sir.
We missed you competing, but you were fine as a co-host, and we were delighted to have had you.
I'm delighted to be here.
So we say farewell.